nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Prescott yet again. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Bobby Wagner coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal.
46.
Prescott from the gun. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Tyrone Crawford in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. On 2nd down, Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Here's Wilson to throw. He's got him in, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
95. Move 15. Tempo.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jalen Smith in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight. Now Wilson on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the 1st half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. First down, Prescott. Going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. 57 yards. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for two.
You go 46. Done.
Prescott now. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. On the return, the all-pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett.
Return to get you to midfield is a great return. One first down, you're almost in field goal position.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Randy Gregory in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down.
Get out.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Randy Gregory in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And they will finally run until he brings us one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now Elliott. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Prescott. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
And this is going to be incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And this one is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Carson. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. His defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting him in jeopardy right now.
Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. He's going to wind up in air, and for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Let's go, 14. All right, move 15.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Jeff Heath, the strong safety, able to get in there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Flushed out right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 43 yards. And the Cowboys capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Tyler Lockett now with the return. Spinning past him. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They had that lead, looked pretty comfortable in the first half, maybe got a little bit overconfident because that's gone now.
Almost takes us back to being kids, doesn't it? Because I know at some point your dad did the exact same thing mine did.
Okay.
It's okay to be confident, son, but overconfident, that's not a good thing. And that's maybe what we saw here. They thought they had this thing in hand, had full control, and guess what? They've got to find a way to get back to where they were before.
You think Papa Davis and Papa Garden would get along?
I think they'd get along just fine. And you know something? They'd still be giving us advice.
And got his man complete. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Tempo.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off Byron Jones. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust?
And that's caught inside the 30. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. 20-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. So many people are really happy about those picks. Any fantasy team that has this defense.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys' side of the field. It's a big play there for Seattle. 43 yards. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical, spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He connected on his first, this from 41. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets him that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Able to push his way through, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They're up by 1. They have the football. The key here, just don't do anything silly, right, Charles?
That's exactly right. You know, all the admonitions as they ran out there. Take care of the ball. Secure everything. Be tight in everything that you do. No let up, no crazy plays, and they can go home with a victory.
Let's see here if they can do all those things and hang on to this victory. They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Prescott. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. He's back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere. Yeah,
and I love how you describe that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Tyrone Crawford bringing the pressure again, and that is his third sack here tonight. Here you go. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. Trucks over it, and now running right through it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe to get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They'll roll him out running. His throw incomplete.